Today we're at Chelmsford Park talking to Snowball City manager Ian Allinson on a chilly day, but the atmosphere in the park has warmed up with the Saints beating Chelmsford City 3-1 to move within 3 points of the playoff places. It was a funny old game, Ian. First half now, very little happened, didn't help with a couple of long delays. Chelmsford looked to be getting on top, they got a goal ahead, we got level on stroke of half time, and in the second half there's pretty much only one side in it.
Yeah, it was tough game, to be fair. I felt first half they dominated for long periods, probably had the better chances in that first half, and just as we got to the half time I thought let's go in 0-0 at half time with a slope behind us in the second half, and there's a bit of wind out there that we could put them under a bit more pressure. And you know, disappointed with the goal we give away. We give away a free header which put them 1-0 up with 3 minutes before half time, but we reacted very well and got the equaliser, and it's so important to get that, because I felt going down the hill with a little bit of wind behind us in the second half we could press further up the pitch than what we did in the first half. And for me, we got two outstanding goals. One on the counter attack, and Cal Costa's finish was, anywhere you see them sort of goals in the world, they're in the top 10, and it was a fantastic finish. He's just going to shout him to take his time, but I thought he was going to just try and drive it, and a little bit of quality. It was absolutely unbelievable goal, and people should see things like that because you don't see them many times throughout the season. And we've had some special goals this year, but I feel that was one of the best I've seen here all season.
You mentioned the Chelmsford goal. I think it's something like 6 of the last 8 goals we've conceded from corners. Something to look at.
You're right, yeah, and I'm glad you've come up with it, because it is something that we look at all the time. We spent probably 30 minutes on Thursday night, corners for, corners against, just working on stuff, and knowing Rod and knowing Chelmsford how they are, they're very good at set pieces. They attack the ball very well, and they've done it. And we spoke about attacking the ball first. I think it was Michael Clark's been blocked, and by the time we knew where we are, they've headed it home. So we're 1-0 down, but we've done exactly the same the other end. David's taken a bit of space on the back post and got himself free. But it is an area we have to keep working on, because we have conceded too many goals from set pieces. But it was nice to come away with the 3 points, and it was nice to have a win, because the last 3 games, though I felt we've played really well in patches in them games, we've not picked up a lot today. I felt they dominated the first half, but second half I felt we come back into it and looked quite comfortable. And to be fair, Dino's had to make an unbelievable save at 3-1. He's got a deflection as well. He's got a hand on it, so that kept it to a minimum. But if it had gone to 3-2 with 15 minutes to go, it could have been a tough game.
Yeah, you talked at length there about the Cal Costa goal, quite rightly. David Moyo's goal last week was his first in just short of 3 months. Today he looked like a player full of confidence. That goal helped him. Yeah,
he did. I mean, obviously we've just played one up front today, and we can change things around in terms of what we've been doing with the personnel we've got. But again, as you said, he worked the line really well. He caused their centre half some problems. He's got pace to go in behind, and he's got the 2 goals. I don't know what happened with the second one. Everyone said it sort of rolled over. His foot has rolled over the ball, and he's took the whole ball and everything into the back of the net. And but I was just pleased to see it had gone in, because first I thought he'd missed it. But it was a great move, the way we broke from the defence, from defending a set piece to the way we scored at the other end was fantastic. And I think it was David who laid the ball in on the halfway line to Cal, whose paces took him there. Solomon's played a great ball in, and David's carried his run on. So really pleased. I'm pleased with the players, because I think they deserved it. They've worked extremely hard. I mean, we're saying there Scotty Shorten and James Kolotsky's come in and settled in really well to the team. Just give us a different dimension in what we have to do. We played James at centre half today, where the first 2 games we played him in midfield. So Clovis coming back and getting back to near fitness again. That's his 2nd game in a week, which has been a bonus. It's just a lad, if we could keep fit the whole season, he'd be a great asset to us. But already this season we've seen when he has these 2 or 3 week breaks when he picks injuries up. But he is a complete player in terms of the competitive side of it, and anyone like him will pick injuries up throughout the season.
I mean, obviously it's a great win today. Chelmsford a top 5 team in the start. You've got another tough couple of games in the running. How big a win will this be for the confidence going forward?
Well, I think it's good from the confidence point of view, but we know we're under no illusions. We've got a tough run in, but as I said all along, we seem to play better against the top teams, and certainly look at the points we've dropped, and there's no disrespect, as I said, to Gloucester and to Truro and to teams like Hungerford. We've dropped 3 points against Hungerford, 4 points against Truro, and 5 points against Gloucester. So when you look back at the end of the season, it's our performances in them games that have cost us a lot of points, and the reasons why we're not in the playoffs. And you look at your performances against the top 6 or top 8. We've done okay. We're going to get some defeats when you play Truro well on a Torquay away on a Tuesday night. It was a tough game, and they were a good side. But you look at the other performances we've had. Welling, I think we've taken 4 points off of them. So it is one of them that we've got 4 tough games to go. We're going to have to approach each game as it comes. We've got a nice break now. We've not as if we've got games on Tuesday nights, apart from the last week of the season where we go Friday, Monday, Saturday. So get Bath out of the way next week, and then we can go into 3 games to go with 8 days to go, and we'll see where we are as we take each game as it comes. But the players have done great to get where we are now. I still say we should be in the playoffs already, but sometimes when you're already in there, the pressure's on. So there's no pressure on us. We're not expected to get in there. There's a lot of teams above us still at the moment, but maybe we can just take one game at a time, but surprise a few people in the last couple of games and see where we are. As I just said to the players, there's no pressure on us. If we don't get in there, then that's not for not trying. We've tried really hard to get there. We want to get in there, of course we want to get in there, but let's not build up the pressure and expect to get in there. So if people don't expect us to get in there, that'd be great. There'll be a lot of pressure on a lot of the teams to be in there and around there tonight. Dartford have got beat today, Billericay have got beat today, Concord have now got back into the playoffs. We've got to play Concord, so that'll be a massive game. Wilstone in and around it. So there's loads to play for. But as I said there's no pressure on us at the end of the day. As I've said all along, we'll wake up on the 28th of April if we're not in there, and we'll just try and build for next season again. So let's take it as I've said it. If we get in there, I'll be over the moon. Be really pleased. If we don't, then we'll have to just rebuild for next season. But I don't want any pressure putting on the players, because we might not react the same way as we've done today. So put pressure on other players, other teams, and we can just keep doing what we're trying to do.
You mentioned getting Bath City out of the way next week, Ian. Usually we get it out of the way and we come home without any points, but at least we came home with a goal there last season, and we've got to improve upon that next week, haven't we?
Oh, of course we have, but it's going to be very, very difficult, as we know all along. They're a good side, so they're in there for a reason, because they've been more consistent than us this season. So, but again, they've got beat today, so they'll see that Concord are catching them up, and they'll probably want to finish in the first 4, because if you get in the first 4, you're going to get a home tie. Should I say, if you get in the first 3, you're going to get a home tie in the semi-final. So they've got loads to play for. Now that we've beaten Chelmsford today and took some points off them, there's an opportunity for them to get into 2nd or 3rd. So there'll be pressure on them to do that, because they certainly won't want to be going away from home in a playoff game. So let's see where we are. As I say, let's see what players we've got available. We've not picked any more injuries up to date, though. We've got a couple of cuts and a cut eye and a cut head with Ben and Tom Bender. A couple of little niggles, but everyone should be fit. Hopefully Ben Herts making good progress this week, where he might be back by next week. So we'll see where we are. But the squad's been good. They've worked extremely hard, and now we've got to take it into the last 2 weeks of the season.
You mentioned a few cuts there, clashes of heads and goodness knows what. Players went down quite a bit, quite a few stoppages. There's trainers coming on, 5 bookings and 1 red card. Excessive?
It was a difficult pitch, and sometimes I think you've got to look at the playing surface, you've got to look at the conditions, you've got to look at how the ball was bouncing. There were some poor touches, poor bounces, and I just think sometimes there's too many yellow cards. It's too easy to brand as yellow card for silly little things, and then it puts people under pressure. And it was a difficult game to ref, but as I say, I just think there's too many yellow cards and red cards out there today. And one thing I would say, I'd like to thank Chelmsford for the way their physios helped us out in the first half for the clash of heads. I thought they were extremely good to come and help us there. They patched Tom up really well and got him back as quick as possible. And you've got to thank other teams when they do stuff like that, because a lot of them might not want to be involved in that, but they got Tom back on and they got Ben back on, obviously as quick as we can, because we were down to 9 and then 10 men for a little while there with the clash. So thank Chelmsford for that, and the way they performed on that occasion.
It's fun, isn't it? Bath next week, a ground where we seldom get anything. Chelmsford now, was it 7 games unbeaten against them?
Yeah, it's just as I say, it's a peculiar stat really. As I say, these things happen in football, and they're things that do take its shape over a time, and it's certainly one of them clubs that I seem to enjoy playing against and managing against, and obviously Bath is one of them that we don't. So let's try and change that next week. Let's go there with a positive attitude and good mentality, and see if we can pick up all 3 points.
Well, you're in the sweepstake in the dressing room in for the National. A win there just about round your day off,
I think mine's 125 to 1, so I will do well to win it. So, but hopefully something might happen.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian.
Thanks.
So it's a 3-1 win for the Saints today against Chelmsford City. Next Saturday, the 13th of April. That's the anniversary of the formation of the club, of course, as you already know. That's down at Twerton Park, away to Bath City, National League South, kick-off 3 p.m.